When you have a project like this, the first thing you do is to do your design analysis. First of all, look at the trousers very, very, very well. From the front, you can see that is it's is fitted at from the waist to the hip level. From the hip level down to the floor is free. As you can see as well, you can see that it is extra long. So when you are making these trousers, you're not going to, if the actual waist to floor length is 42, you are going to be adding at least 5 inches so that when you are putting on a high heel, it's going to compensate for that. If not, if you make it 42 inches exactly, what you are going to get when you are putting is just guy is going to be an ankle trouser. So you look at these trousers very well. So you're going to be making it 46 or 47 inches length. That's the full length that is going to be. Also remember, this is a high waist trousers. So you shall be adding extra 2 inches to the crotch length. You understand? If the front crotch initially it used to be the crotch depth is 12, you have to make it 14 because it's going to be a little bit above the belly button. You can also see that it's having a side pocket. Then as well, then make sure the crotch extension at both the front and the back is not that large because that's what controls the contour of the body. If the crotch is large, it will not contour well. But if it's short, crotch is going to contour well. Other features are waistband and zipper. Hello, welcome to my YouTube tutorial. In this particular video, I'm going to be teaching you how to cut and sew palazzo pants. The measurement needed are your waist measurement, your hip measurement, your thigh measurements, and your trouser length. In this particular trousers, we're going to be making it extra long because most people that wear this thing normally wear high heel. So instead of if your length is 40, for instance, you're going to make it 43. You're going to be adding 4 inches. In this one, I'm going to be making it 46 inches. That's the length of my trousers. So the first thing we did now is just to add all the old vertical lines. To add all the old vertical measurements, which are your waistline, your crotch line, your hip line, your knee line, and your ankle line. So this is the second line. The second line is the hip line, which is 9 inches from it is 9 inches from the waistline. While the crotch line is calculated as the hips divided by 4. Then what you get is to be the position. The position of the knee line is 22 inches away from the waistline. So after putting all the vertical measurement, the next thing we are going to be doing is first thing we're going to be putting we'll go to the crotch line, which we are going to be inserting our hip measurement. What I did here is that when I'm cutting, what I did is to leave 1 inches aside at the edge of the fabric. The essence of leaving that 1 inches is that your normal trousers, the front pattern is usually bigger than the back, but in this particular pattern, I'm not going to be making the front that big, the back that bigger than the front. So I'm going to add little allowances to the front, to the little sewing allowance to the front, so that you will not be taking much from that. So what we are going to do now is we are going to be measuring the hip measurement divided by 4. Our hip is 44, divided by 4 is 11. So we mark it. Then we also go to the waistline and mark 11 inches. Then connect that 11 inches from the waistline to the crotch line. After you've connected it to the crotch line using your ruler, I was trying to use a freehand here, but it is not working, so I decided to use my ruler. So now you come to the crotch extension. My crotch extension for the front is 2 inches. The standard measurement there is a standard formula for the crotch extension, which is usually the front extension is usually you divide it by 4. In this place, since the hip is 11, we are going to be dividing it by 4. Then if we divide it by 4, we're going to be getting something like 2.7. But because What we actually wanted is something that is having a shorter crotch. The crotch extension is what controls how big and how free the trouser usually be. So we are making use of 2 inches instead of 2.7 inches. So then the next thing we're going to do is that you go to the waistline, you go down from the center front by half inch. Then you at the sideline, you are going to go up by half inch. You are going to go up by half inch, like what you see in the video. So now you add your waist measurement divide by 4. Our waist is 34, divide by 4 is 8.5. We added 1 inches to each. That make it 9.5. Then I added zero point 0.5, making it 10, which is the zero point 0.5 is for the ease. So I connected it from that waistline. I connected it to the what we now did is to connect it to the hip line, like from on the side using your ruler, or you can use, if you have a curve rule, you can make use of your curve rule. So once you've done this, you see the trousers is gradually coming out. Basically, at the start of it, we're supposed to connect a line from the crotch line, a midpoint line from the crotch line to the hemline, which is at the midpoint of the hip measurement. We're going to get the midpoint of the hip measurement, which is 11. We're going that's 5.5. So we also mark that 5.5 at the knee line, and as well mark the 5.5 at the hemline from the sideline. So what we are going to do now is connect it directly using your ruler to have a straight line. So on this particular line is what is going to be a guideline for how your trouser is going to be. Now remember, this one is a palazzo. So the our leg opening of the palazzo is 10 inches. So the nail is going to be 11 inches. That means on the each of the knee side is going to be 5.5 inches each, while on the ankle line, each of the side of the line is going to be 5 inches each. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to mark 5.5 inches here. Then on the other side, we're going to as well mark for 5.5 inches. Then we will now go to the ankle line and mark the leg opening. Our leg opening, sorry that you're not seeing it from here. Our leg opening is going to be 10 inches. So we'll mark 5 inches from both of the line. Then use your ruler to connect it down straight. So this is it. And you see, what we are going to do now is that for me, since it is palazzo, I normally add allowance to it so that the back will not be that bigger than the front. So you can also as well add all your allowances on the back, but for me, there's no need. I've been doing it and it works for me. You can do anything that works for you. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be adding 1 inch. On this particular trousers, I'm going to take it your to my weaving machine. That is the overlock machine. I'm going to overlock it. When I overlock it, it's going to chop up some part of it. So that's why I'm adding 1 inch at the sideline. So I'm going to be adding 1 inch. That 1 inch is for the overlocking and as well as sewing allowances as well. So that I'm still going to still make the back to be bigger than the front a bit. You understand? But for this one, make it have a lot of ease. So I have room for flexibility. It's not that later I can decide to make the leg opening to be 11 as well. So I have a lot of flexibility when I'm working when I'm sewing. So this is your front panel. You also add 1 inch to this other side. This is the center front side. You are going to add half an inch, 1 inch as well. This also take care of the overlock. Then you cut it out. So we're done with this particular phase. We've done with the front pattern. The next thing we're going to be doing is to cut out the back panel. Like I said, the back panel usually is bigger than the front. And as well, the other difference about the back panel is the crotch extension. The crotch extension here, is going to be just 1 inch bigger than the front extension. Why I'm making it 1 inch bigger is that there's one thing about crotch extension. It's what control how free a trouser is going to be. So I want the this particular pants to be packed at at the hips. I want the contours to come out. So if the contours is going to come out, what you're going to do is that you reduce the crotch extension. So you're not going to be making it we're not going to be using the normal formula whereby you're going to be making the crotch extension about 3 inches. No, this time around, this crotch extension is going to be very low. So it's just going to be 1 inch above the front extension, the front crotch extension. So when you have a shorter crotch extension, it make the clothes more fitting. It bring out the contours of the body. So that's the essence of having a very short contour, of having a very short crotch extension. Get a piece of fabric and paste the front pattern on the back on the piece of fabric so that you can cut your back pattern. Now, what you are going to do is that at the sideline of the front pattern, you're going to draw a straight line. That line remain equal, while at the center back line, it's 2 inches higher than the center front line, as you can see. So I'm marking 2 inches upper at the center front, at the center back line. Then I'm leaving space. There is no place for me to put allowance at the center back line. So I'm going to start with adding 2 inches, 2 inches extra. So I'm just putting 2 inches extra there instead of 1 inches. So then that's 1 inches for the center back line and 1 inches for the sideline. So all of them goes to the sideline. So I'm putting 2 inches there. So you see that I'm using the same waist measurement. There is no need. I'm using the same waist measurement as this. So the only difference is that allowance that I'm putting. So I'm just making it a bit bigger than this. So at the end of the day, it's just going to be half an inch, either half an inch bigger or 1 inch bigger than the front back line. So this is what you do. You mark it out, and then at the crotch depth, you are going to make it 1 inch. So from there, that's what controls it. It's going to be 1 inch downward to the hem. So when you get that downward to the hem, it's going to be even at the knee line. At the knee line, it's still going to be 1 inch difference. So it all goes down to the hem. Then the crotch, like I said, your crotch here, when you're making crotch for back line, what you normally do for the crotch is you can calculate it by saying your hip divide by 4. Your hip divide by 4 minus 1. You can use minus 1 here. So our hip is 44, which is divided by 4 is 11 minus divide by 2. 11, that the divide by 4 is 11. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5 minus 1 is 4. But here now we're not going to make use of 4 because we don't want the crotch extension to be that big. We are going to just make use of only 1. It's going to be 1 inch bigger than the front extension. So the remaining one is the space that we kept for weaving. When we say weaving, I mean interlock, for interlocking it. So for overlocking it. So this is it. We've done with it. We've cut it. And the front, remember, we put darts in the front. So the dart in the front is taking care of that dart in the back too. We are using the same dart measurement, half an inch. But when you are putting dart, the dart in the front is going to be 6 inches long. Remember what I said, 6 inches long for the front. The usual in normal, it used to be 4 inches long for the front dart, or 3 inches long for the front dart. Then the back dart, in our own back dart, we're going making use of 7 inches long. Just take note of that for the trouser to come out well. That's how it works for me. But I don't know what you've been. Maybe there are other methods you can use, because each time I try to use a shorter crotch, a shorter dart length, it doesn't really come out the way I want it. So this is it. You cut it out. When you cut it out, the next thing, just prepare for your pockets and take it to your overlock and overlock it round. Then prepare your pockets, put your zipper, put your band and other things. So if you want to know how to, there are other videos I've made about how to put invisible zipper on trousers, and also how to do slant pocket. I'm going to drop the link in the description box. So if you need that video, you can go there and watch it. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you've not subscribed. Like, share, and make comments. If there's any video you would really like us to make, don't hesitate to let us know. We are always here for you. The only way you can use to support us is to like our videos and share our videos. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching up to this time. God bless you. So when you're cutting the band is going to be, you're going to cut it like 5 inches wide and 5 inches wide, and the length should be maybe 3 inches longer than the waist length. So if your waist, for instance, is 36, you are going to be cutting band of 40 inches. Then when you cut the band, because of the type of material you are using, you have to you have to um you have to put facing. You have to interface it, put stay on it. So you put stay on it so that you'll be able to do the band well. So that's just the band. Then the pockets. I normally, what I do in my own pocket when I'm doing pocket is that I take about half the measurement of, or as in half the measurement of the waist. So when our front waist, for instance, is 34, so half of the measurement is 34 divided by 4, you have 8.5, about 9. So half of the measurement is about 4.5. So the highest is going to be 6 inches, 6 inches on fold. So if it's on fold, it's going to be 12 inches. So the length, I usually make the length as much as the it will not get to the crotch depth. So if your crotch depth is 12, for instance, just make the length of the finished length at 11 inches. So you might really make it 12 by 12, or you can make it 12 by 13. It all depends on how you want it. So this is your band, this is your pocket. Thanks for watching.